Welcome to the PopCycle post-conference webinar. Again, PopCycle stands for pre-conference, observation, post-conference cycle. Purpose of the PopCycle is to build capacity in our residents to become self-reflective educators that are learner-ready. Purpose of this webinar is the same as the pre-conference webinar, which is to support teacher residents and evaluators with implementation of the PopCycle, along with reviewing the alignment of PopCycle requirements between the teacher resident and evaluator. Information format is also the same, where we talk about teacher resident and evaluator on each slide and how the efforts align. Steps of the PopCycle we'll cover in this webinar have to do with step number 5, self-evaluation for teacher resident, and step number 5, score the observation by the evaluator. Also, post-conference for both is step number 6. Step 5 begins the post-conference of the PopCycle. The teacher resident's self-evaluation begins with the preparation for the post-conference. This is the only part of the PopCycle where an evaluator has no matching alignment component. Be sure as the teacher resident that you follow each bullet point and that you self-reflect with evidence and thoughtfulness as you go through this process. Step 5, teacher resident opening. Within step 1 of the post-conference, all of the following occur, and the evaluator is going to ask you about these things. Share your overall impressions of your lesson, the experience, viewing and analysis of your video, and student mastery of outcomes. Be sure to share student achievement data with your evaluator. Items found in blue give you prompts to begin your thought in response to each of these areas of reflection. Next, your teacher resident will identify and justify your self-reflection, and your evaluator will also do the same. Remember that you're going to justify each of your selections with evidence on your own before the discussion. Each of these reflective points are built from evaluation notes and filming of your lesson. The next step is instructional coaching. So again, each of you, the teacher resident and the evaluator, whomever that may be, is going to reflect on areas of strength of the candidate using notes from the observations, the rubric score, and any evidence that you may have. Be specific in things that you see for sustaining the performance of the practices that are considered strengths for the teacher residents. Next, the teacher resident and the evaluator is going to identify areas of refinement, which are areas of challenge or challenge areas that the resident found when they were self-evaluating their reflection of their evaluation or filming of their lesson, and the evaluator used as their evaluation scores and or notes also from reviewing the lesson. Again, you want to be specific in these areas as identified so that you can collaboratively come together for improvements in student achievement or other indicators. The closing of the self-reflection for the practitioner has to do with the end of step 5. Again, you are thinking about what your strengths and areas of need are, as well as sustaining and improving both of those areas. Each of you will come to the post-conference with your own thoughts, evidence, and processes for improvement or sustaining performance. Part of the teacher residency reflection model is that you go through each of these listed pre-conference items, again, after you've taught your lesson, reviewed the filming of the instructional delivery. Your evaluator, again, has no matching alignment component, but will have thoughtfully reviewed their notes and scores according to this same section of indicators. So the teacher resident will look at instructional plans, standards and objectives, presenting your instructional content, using visuals, models, logical sequences, your direct instruction with your students, and essential information that you covered, within your lesson. You're also going to look at the activities and materials chosen, how well and often you gave academic feedback, and how well and often you manage student behavior. Again, the self-reflection of the video helps you to identify things that you may not have even noticed while teaching your lesson. Once you have reviewed the teacher resident's self-reflection and the evaluator in their notes and formal scores, you are going to then write out what you found as strengths and weaknesses, as well as evidence proving your thoughts on these two items. Also, you're going to think about justifications for these selections as items of strengths and improvement, and then finally, activities that you believe will help you to either continue the strength or improve your area of refinement. These two items again are done independently of each other so that you can prepare to have your conversation as the POP cycle ends, your final pre-conference activity. For the pre-conference activity, you have a note-taking form where you and the teacher resident and evaluator will come together and have a discussion using the prompts given in the post-conference cycle. This post-conference cycle can be done as a Google document, and it can be done as a recording if necessary. Again, just like the pre-conference, you can do these face-to-face, via technology, and or record as needed for documentation. Once your POP cycle has been completed, you're going to submit the required documentation to the Department of Student Teaching and Professional Education Services for final review and submission. Once again, if you have any questions or concerns as you complete the second half of your POP cycle, which is the post-conference steps, then please contact any of us at McNeese State University, and we will be more than willing to help you. Thank you for your time.